Esther and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to make Liège balletjes, boulettes liégeoises. That are meatballs that are prepared with a very sugary sauce. The base of the sauce is a syrup made of apples, pears and dates. This is a very well-known syrup in Belgium. And if you can get a hold of it, you should really try it too. Make sure you have your ingredients and let's start! Let's bake those beauties! This is a very easy and quick recipe. Before you start making the meatballs, it is a good idea to cut all your shallots, because you need a lot of them. For the meatballs you will need 2 shallots, and for the sauce you will also need 2 shallots. I don't know what it is with shallots, but they always make me cry. Today I'm going to fight. I'm not sure if I'm able to, but today I'm fighting it really hard. They're so strong. That's the last shallot. Now I'm going to wash my hands so I don't have all the sticky stuff of the shallots anymore on my hands and they cannot make me cry anymore. Now we are going to start with the bread. I have a piece of ciabatta here. It's the leftover of our breakfast bread, and you just tear it into pieces and soak it in milk. This is really old bread, but it's good to have old bread. You cover the bread with milk. Try that every piece of bread touches the milk, because it has to soak. I'm going to prepare the first 2 shallots just in a pan a little bit so they get brown. Now I will start with making the meatballs using the minced meat. I use a mix of pork and beef, and for 2 people we usually take about 500 grams of meat. I know, that's a lot, but we have a big belly and we just love meatballs. You could always keep them for a day later and then they are extra good because you didn't have to put in all the time to make them. You can just heat them up and eat them. So we take the meat and we will add our egg. We will need some parsley. This is the parsley. I will rinse it a bit and cut it in smaller pieces. Here's even more parsley, because I didn't take enough. You need 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of savory. Savory, it's bonenkruid in Dutch. We will also add some pepper and some salt. Then we will take our bread and squeeze out the milk and put the bread, the squeezed bread, in the meat. Sometimes you have some harder parts, like this one here, and maybe it's a good idea to cut them in smaller pieces, or like tear them in smaller pieces before you add them to the meat. Now you add the shallot that you fried a little bit. Everything is in our bowl. We're going to mingle it very well so all the spices and the herbs get evenly spread out. Then we are going to form some meatballs and they are ready to be baked. So today I only managed to make 5 meatballs. That's not really equal, but usually I only eat 2 and my boyfriend eats the rest, or 3 or maybe 4. But if we are still hungry, we can split the last one. Isn't that romantic? Let's bake those beauties. I'm using the same pan as I did for the onions. I'm just going to add a little bit more butter and bake the meatballs brown on all sides. As I always say, butter is taste, butter is better. When the meatballs are evenly brown, you just take them out of the pan and start with the sauce. For the sauce, it's very easy. You take the same pan, you add your shallots and get them a little bit glazed. Then you extinguish the pan with balsamico vinegar. You'll have to add some laurier, the sirop, some salt and some pepper, and that's it. Oh, and water. Now we will add these 2 leaves and put back in the meatballs. You will have to add 300 milliliters of water. Add at least 1 tablespoon of syrup, but I always add 2 of them, because I like it sweet. Also add your pepper in the sauce and your salt. As you can see, this is boiling quite hard. I'm going to turn off the heat, cover this with foil and slide it into the oven to finish there. Now the meatballs are in the oven, it's time to set the table. And just wait until they are done. You can check it by cutting one of them and then you can eat. Finally, we are so hungry right now and we can only think about eating at this moment, so just some patience. You can do it. Wait for that moment. Wait for that moment with delicious meatballs. So, the table is set. We are ready to serve the dish and have our meal. These meatballs just look incredible. The sauce isn't very thick. If you want it thicker, you can always add a little bit of flour. I cut the meatball in 2 to check if it was ready, and it was just perfectly done. Today we are going to serve the meatballs with a puree. Let's have a taste. Look at this beautiful plate. Some meatball, some sauce. Smells incredible. The juice just splashed into my mouth. It was very exciting. This is just incredible. So make it too. Please click on the like button and also follow my channel to be notified about my latest meatball recipes or other recipes. Bye bye! If you're planning to put your meatballs in the oven after you prepared them, don't forget to preheat your oven. Today I served the meatballs with mashed potatoes, and don't forget to time your mashed potatoes so they will be ready at the same time of your meatballs. If you want some more information about making mashed potatoes, I would recommend you to watch my video on Swedish meatballs. There I explain it more in detail. You could also serve your meatballs from Liège or Liège balletjes, boulettes liégeoises with fries or croquettes or maybe something else, rice, or if you are a real pasta lover, why not eat them with pasta? I won't judge you.